Thank you.
All during that time.
Ooh.
Um, I couldn't get there fast enough.
Hey y'all, hey. We just got adjourned for lunch. I'm trying to find some place where I could, a dry place where I could put my notebook so we could do this commentary. So after the break, Mia was still on the stands, okay? And she has gave some more insight about the relationship between Diddy and Cassie. So ultimately, when I got back in the courtroom, they were discussing like if she worked with Cassie in addition to Diddy, and she said yes. And then they asked her like, did she keep up with like the finances and things like that? And then the ASUA asked Mia how like things were for Cassie. How were they paid for, or what types of things um, were things listed for Cassie? And she said homes, cars, um, allowances, and things like that. And she said it was all controlled by Diddy, basically. Matter of fact, I could put this down. Please thumbs up the video as y'all loading up into the room. Period. Yes, here we go. Please thumbs up the video. Okay. So Mia also said, you know, when Diddy would be upset with Cassie, he would take away her cars, her jewelry, his support whenever he was upset. And so then she asked her how, you know, how often she was with Cassie. And she said whenever P. Diddy would allow. Let me tell you something. Her demeanor, she's very timid. And it seems that she's very scared to be up on that stand today. And can you blame her? Can you blame her? All right. So then the AUSA asked Mia like what was her responsibilities when Diddy would tell her to go with Cassie. And she was like basically to keep tabs on Cassie for him. Um, the prosecutor did ask like what type of things would make Diddy upset, and she said like if Cassie wouldn't answer her phone, if he couldn't find her, and things like that. But he would assign her to Cassie like a handler so that she can report back to Diddy, and also so that he has multiple ways to get in contact with Cassie. And she said Diddy would tell Mia and Cassie where to be, and if they would go places without Diddy's permission, they would get in trouble. It's like Mia, it was like Diddy was daddy, like, and they were underage kids. Like he treated them like they were slaves. So she described getting in trouble. As she said, they were very unpredictable. The punishments were very unpredictable, and she said they were terrifying at times. She also highlighted that because the prosecutor asked, like, how would Diddy or what means of communication would Diddy use to get in touch with Cassie? She said via phone, text, email, other people. Also, he would send security. Like, and we've heard testimony, like, when he couldn't get in touch with Cassie, he would call everyone's phone, blow up everyone's phones until he can get in contact with her. So constantly putting innocent people in harm's way, I feel like. And it's just like keep your personal relationship between you and her. Like, so Mia started to talk about the violence that she witnessed between Cassie and P. Diddy. She said at times she would see the aftermath of the arguments via bruises or just Cassie's demeanor. So one time, Cassie, Mia, and Deontay, and let me tell you, Mia's testimony really corroborates a lot of Deontay's testimony. She said they were at Cassie's apartment, like packing and getting ready for a trip. And then next thing they know, Diddy was knocking at the door. Diddy ultimately got into the apartment via key. And then he came in the apartment and attacked Cassie. He threw her to the ground. All right. We'll get back to that because some of the other things that Mia described as, you know, violence that she witnessed Diddy crack her head open. She witnessed P. Diddy or Diddy chasing Cassie. She said Cassie never fought back. She said she saw signs of violence all the time. The first time she witnessed it was between 2009 and 2010. She said she heard loud sounds from the second floor upstairs. And then she witnessed suitcases being thrown into the hallway, you guys. So he loves throwing shit. Like, he loved throwing stuff like a little itch. Thumbs up this video, okay? And so after the suitcases were thrown in the hallway, Mia said Cassie ran outside and she hid in the bushes and she was like crying and shaking. This man is a monster. So Mia tried to kind of check on her and Cassie started waving her hands like, just stay, sorry, I'm trying to get this to stand. Just stay away, just stay away. And she said she kept covering herself or whatever. So Mia went back in the house, just trying to follow instructions, she said. And the chef was there in the kitchen. And then at this point, Mia said she saw violence at all his houses, at Cassie's apartment, at hotels, at events, on vacation. So this was a constant reign of terror he had going on. And not only did he have Cassie in fear, he also had the people around them fearing him. Like, it was like Mia was like a little kid. Like, the way he treated her, he didn't treat her like an employee. He treated her like a slave. And for those of you, Mia, if not that it matters, but she is a Caucasian woman and she's smaller in stature. So in 2010 and 2024, it was the early evening, and Mia and Deontay was at Cassie's apartment preparing for a trip. They were packing for London. Thumbs up the video as you guys load in the room. This is a live recap of what happened in the courtroom in the Sean Diddy Combs trial. Please thumbs up the video. We boots on the ground. I'm getting you all these live details. And feel free to donate to the channel, okay? Because it was not cheap coming over here for 2 days, okay? So Mia stated, and this is Mia's testimony. She's a former personal assistant and also friend to Cassie. Kind of. A lot of her testimony, just like Cassie testified, then Kid Cudi's testimony corroborated her testimony, and then Capricorn Clark, her testimony solidified. I see the same thing going on with Mia. Mia is corroborating a lot of what Deontay Nash said. He was on the stand this morning being cross-examined. His testimony started yesterday. He was stylist to Cassie. Okay. So Mia said Diddy arrived, all right? This is LA, between 2010 and 2024, all right? And he was banging on the door and he seemed irate while banging on the door. Sorry guys, it's New York, so it's loud. Um, Ultimately, Diddy got the key from the front desk and he came into the apartment screaming at Cassie. He said, "Have you been drinking?" And Cassie did not answer her phone also, so that's another reason why he was mad. So then he turned around to Deontay and Mia and said, "Has she been drinking?" in an aggressive manner, okay? And then he turned around and attacked Cassie. He threw her to the ground. And then Mia and Deontay tried to jump in to help her, all right? Deontay testified to the same thing. Check out my video from yesterday. We got the recap of his testimony. They tried to jump in to help her. They were kind of like, she said she was this kind of, they were kind of like pulling at him, trying to get him off of her. And at some point, Diddy had Deontay like held up. He was strong. He was strong. Diddy was strong, okay? And Gene Dill said he ain't no, like, he a fighter or whatever. And ultimately, in that tussle, he threw Mia against the wall. And see, at that point, that's when Mia said she realized how much danger she was in. Then P. Diddy ran into the bedroom and grabbed Cassie because Cassie in the shuffle tried to run into the bedroom for cover. And ultimately, Diddy ended up slamming Cassie's head into the corner of the bed frame, and Cassie's head was gushing blood. And Mia said she was big scared, okay? Deontay also testified to this. This is the second witness corroborating a violent attack, because Cassie was not fighting back. Then all of a sudden, she said Diddy snapped into protector and survivor mode. And so he instructed Mia to call Kayla, who was another personal assistant, and said have her contact the doctors immediately, right? This is another example of him using his staff in the commission of a crime or to cover up his crimes. Make a mental note, okay? But blood was everywhere, Mia said. But this is also an example how he's a shapeshifter. He can jump in and out of moods and personality. He got control of it. And one thing the prosecution did ask Mia, like, did she ever witness Diddy high? And she said yes, or whatever. And she said at a lot of points, like when he's partying or whatever, that's a lot of times he'll be high or inebriated, okay? So then she flashed back. She said, was Diddy high during this attack? And she said no. And she seemed sure of it. That's the first time I felt like she was confident this whole time. Like, she's very timid on the stand. And so he instructed Mia to call Kayla, the other personal assistant, to contact the doctor. And he instructed Mia to tell Kayla that Cassie was drunk and hit her head. So he came into the apartment with a narrative already. This shows how manipulative, diabolical, and controlling he is. And so Mia said, they asked, like, why did you do this? She said, because I was instructed to by Diddy. Once again, they're showing how he's in control of his staff. I think the prosecution is doing a very, very good job highlighting examples of when he's controlling and how he runs the show. Everything goes through him. You know, he had Mia to the point where she didn't feel like she could leave or do anything. And when she did, it was like he punished her like she was a little kid. It's crazy. That's crazy. I would never work under conditions like that. Ever. Isn't that against some type of labor law or something? She didn't get days off. She didn't have personal time for herself. It's crazy. But she described his demeanor during this attack. She said, like, his eyes were blacked out. This is not the first time we heard testimony about this. Cassie also said that his eyes get blacked out. She said anytime he was in a rage, his eyes get black. And then she also, the prosecutor also asked Mia, like, whenever Diddy was high, what was his demeanor? And she said he was fun, life of the party, hyper, sometimes drooling. And that's when she redirected back to the attack and said, was he high? So, next, in 2011 and 2012, I'll wait for them to pass. So in 2011 and 2012, Mia decided to go to a party without Diddy's permission, you guys. So Diddy had set up a suite at the Beverly Hills Hotel, and he instructed Mia to stay with Cassie and keep her company in the hotel because he was going to go back to the house to be with his kids. So another example of Diddy didn't want Cassie around his kids. She was nothing but a worker to him. And so during this time, Mia's friend contacted her and invited her to Prince's party. Remember, this is not the first time this came up. It was like Grammy weekend, and Prince had a party at his house. And so Mia said her and Cassie basically sat there and contemplated, like, they were children, like, how are they going to sneak out of the house? Those were her exact words or whatever. So they decided to go to the party. And then Mia made eye contact with Diddy. Whoa, oh shoot, or whatever. She said she saw his top hat or whatever. They locked eyes, and she said her and Cassie darted out of there, and she was like, it was a little difficult because they didn't know the layout of the house, but ultimately they got outside, and she said it was like a forest across the way, and they hid in the bushes, but Diddy ultimately caught up to Cassie and grabbed her and threw her to the ground, right? And Prince's security stepped in to save them or to break up the fight. So then ultimately Mia got out of there. She said she went to a different hotel. And then Vasha called from that, and she was the head of HR for Diddy's companies. And she called Mia and said, Diddy said you are suspended without pay due to Mia being insubordinate. And so that's when we broke at lunch. So I think it's very detailed testimony. I'm interested to see how the defense is going to come back from this. But yeah, it was interesting. It was interesting, her testimony, but it spoke to control. It spoke to the work conditions. It spoke to the force. So I am excited to see what the afternoon brings. But I feel like the prosecution is doing a really, really, really good job. How you doing? Doing a really good job of, let's see what's going on out here.
She's saying that's a lie and that I got slid across the
There's the knot. Let's see what's going on in front of the courthouse, and then I'm going to try to find something to eat. A lot going on. Look like they're waiting for somebody to come out. It's very busy out here.
We're here.
It was good, excuse me.
for months.
Wow.
Lauren was
It was good testimony this afternoon. Hey, how you doing? It was good testimony this afternoon.
Was it?
Yeah, I
Well, give
like
me a
to.
goddamn update. Come here.
Okay.
That's it, girl. She gonna give
Hey,
me a
y'all.
goddamn update.
Yes.
All right, and we together for right now, just for this moment. She gonna leave me in a minute. Don't worry about it, y'all. She gonna leave me like the rest of them. Listen, here, right here.
Okay.
Let me get you right. Okay, I want you to update the people a little bit. All right, y'all.
Okay.
Listen, y'all. Don't me and her look sweet together. You better stop. Chill. Don't get her in
Look at
trouble.
our skin glowing.
Chill. Don't get her in trouble. Don't get her in trouble.
Hey, make sure y'all go in and subscribe to Uda. So this afternoon we have Mia, more testimony from Mia. It was very interesting. The section of her testimony, they got into the relationship of between her and Cassie, and how Puff kind of like assigned her to Cassie like a handler to keep an eye on her so he could keep tabs. She described that like when Diddy could not get in touch with Cassie via phone, he would go crazy calling everybody phone, texting everybody. And so then he had the bright idea to assign Mia to her so he had another way to communicate with Cassie.
Oh, that was the strategics on that?
Yes, that was the strategics. And Mia stated like she could not go, her or Cassie could not go anywhere without Diddy's permission. They had to have his permission. Now earlier she testified that she found out early like she didn't have no time for herself. The one time she left, she had Diddy had security go get Mia. Okay? Diddy like, you mine's forever. Okay? There is no breaks over here. Okay? Or whatever. So exactly. And then the prosecution asked her, did she ever witness violence with P. Diddy and Cassie, and she got into the different instances. But I feel like Mia corroborated a lot of what Deontay said.
Yeah? Like
She was
what?
there at that attack at Cassie's apartment.
Yeah.
She was there with Deontay. They were packing for a trip to London. And Diddy came banging on the door. Ultimately, he got the key from security. And he came in and automatically was like, Cassie, you drunk? You been drinking? Screaming and yelling at her in her face. And then he turned to Deontay and Mia, was like, was she drinking? Or whatever. And then he turned around and attacked Cassie, threw her down to the ground.
Bust the head, right? Bust the head that time.
Right.
That's when they had to jump on his back?
That's when they jumped on the back. So
Nice.
Mia corroborated a lot of Deontay's testimony.
That's what a lot of the witnesses are doing for the prosecution.
One thing that came out in Mia's testimony, she said once he bashed her head open and Cassie was bleeding, he went into this protective mode. Like, he instructed Mia to call Kayla, another personal assistant, to contact the doctors, to get her head fixed up and everything. And Mia said she felt like she had to do it. But one thing that stuck out to me is he told Mia to tell Kayla that Cassie was drunk and fell and hit her head.
Oh,
so that's manipulation right there. And it's also an example of how he used his staff to cover up his crimes.
Yeah, you ain't never lied.
That is speaking to the Rico.
Telling people your channel name.
Naughty Love Movement, KNOTTY.
Spell it for them.
KNOTTY. Naughty Love Movement, bringing you live updates. I vlog my life, but I talk about trending topics. We out here lit, working together, but I'm about to go grab me something to eat.
Everybody saying the same thing.
I'm
I appreciate
hungry.
You, Queen, so much. Everybody's saying the same thing.
I got you.
Appreciate you. You know I'm here. You know we cooking up.
Exactly. I'm
That's
about
a
to
life.
Maybe I'll find me a dirty dog. Let me see what's up here.
Some pizza, something down there.
Uh-huh. All right, you guys, we out here working together. It is great. Y'all already got the recap, but I just wanted to do for Uda real quick. A little taste, a little something. But I love you all. Please make sure y'all thumbs up the video. Share. Hey, grown woman. Hey, y'all. Let me see what y'all saying. Dubai Diddy always putting his hands on women and men, child. At this point, I know he whoop kids. Okay. Try to find me a slice or something before court go back in session. But this is a great trial day. Like, I'm glad I was able here to get over here and get some content for y'all or whatever. And yeah, Diddy is controlling. He's not respectful, and he switches personal assistants and his moods like you change underwear. If he ever wears any, child, that man always love to be naked. What is with men in Hollywood that have power love having meetings in robes and boxers? Ooh, pizza right there. Thank God. This shit is it's weird. It's weird. I'm interested to see how the defense is going to try to turn it around. Now, Ratchet TV said he felt like the defense ate up Deontay. I don't feel like they did. Like, I mean, the holes they were trying to create was like kind of weak. Like, oh, if you cared about her so much, why would you let her go with him on vacation? Like, because she's grown. I can't stop her from doing anything. Or then they try to say, oh, Cassie kept your her lifestyle secret about like the free calls and stuff. He was like, yeah, but I keep secrets from her too. Like, you don't know everything about everybody. So I think he held his own ultimately. That's chicken parm. I think I'm gonna get 2 margarita slices. Hi, can I get 2 slices of margarita? To stay. Huh? No. Jesus. You have straws? Thank you. Alright, you guys, I'm about to eat lunch. Thank you all for joining me, and we'll be back after on the first break. Alright, love you all. Bye. Yes, I'm at the Diddy Trial, y'all, live and direct. Make sure y'all thumbs up and share.